computer.
Good day everyone. Last topic, we have discussed the different developments of computers. So in this topic, we will discuss the generations of computers. So in this topic, we will identify the characteristics of each generations of computers. And we will also understand the different computers developed in the different generations of computers. So let's start. So each generation of computers are characterized by a major technological development that fundamentally change the way they operate, resulting in increasingly smaller, cheaper, and more powerful, more efficient, and more reliable devices. So let's start first with the different generation. For first generation, we have the vacuum tubes. For second generation, we have the transistors. For third generation, we have the integrated circuits. For fourth generation, we have the microprocessor. For fifth generation, we have the artificial intelligence. We will have it by each generation. So let's start first with the first generation. The first generation was the vacuum tubes from 1940 to 1956. So the first computers used vacuum tubes for circuitry and magnetic drums for memory. A magnetic drum is a metal cylinder coated with magnetic iron oxide material on which data and programs can be stored. Magnetic drums were once used as a primary storage device. First generation computers relied on machine language to perform operation and could only solve one problem at a time. Input was based on punch cards and paper tape. Output was displayed on printouts. So, the UNIVAC and ENIAC are examples of first generation computing devices. The UNIVAC was the first commercial computer delivered to a business client, the U.S. Census Bureau in 1951. Let's have first the ENIAC. ENIAC means Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer. It was the world's first operational electronic digital computer. It was developed by Army Ordinance. So the ENIAC field application included weather predictions, atomic calculations, cosmic ray studies, thermal ignition, random number studies, and wind tunnel design. Now, how about the UNIVAC? UNIVAC means Universal Automatic Computer. It was a computing machine built also by Urquhart-Maltby Computer Corporation in the 1950s. It was later applied to a division of the Remington Rand, the U.S. Army, U.S. Census Board, and the U.S. Air Force, both the first UNIVAC system. The operating instruction or program of a first generation computer were specifically built for the task for which the computer was manufactured. The machine language was the only way to make these machines perform the operation. So that's the first generation of computer. Let's have now the second generation, the transistors, from 1956 to 1963. So the transistors replaced vacuum tubes and marked the beginning of the second generation of computers. The transistors was invented in 1947 but did not see widespread use in computers until the late 50s. The transistors was superior to the vacuum tubes, allowing the computers to become smaller, faster, cheaper, more energy efficient, more reliable than the first generation's predecessors. Now, second generation's computers still relied on punch cards for input and printout for outputs. The first computers of this generation were developed for the atomic energy industry. The second generation computers also started showing the characteristics of modern day computers, with utilities such as printers, disks, storage, and operating systems. Many financial information was processed using these computers. Let's proceed with the third generation, the integrated circuits, from 1964 to 1971. The development of integrated circuits was the third generation of computers. It was invented by Jack Kilby in 1958. Transistors were miniaturized and placed on silicon chips called semiconductors, which drastically increased the speed and efficiency of computers. So the silicon is the basic materials used to make computer chips. Transistors, silicon, diodes, and other electronic circuits and switching devices. Also, in third-generation computers, the operating system allowed the computer to run many different applications. These applications were monitored and coordinated by the computer's memory. Let's have now the fourth generation, the microprocessor, from 1971 to the present microcomputer. So the microprocessor brought the fourth generation of computers, as thousands of integrated circuits were built onto a single silicon chip, including the Central Processing Unit or the CPU. The CPU or the Central Processing Unit is the brain of the computer, which sometimes referred to as the processor, where most calculations take place. It is the most important element of a computer system. So for our final generation, the fifth generation, the artificial intelligence, from present to beyond. The fifth generation computers are based on artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is a term that would indicate the ability of computer systems and programs to perform the same function that characterize human thought. The term was introduced by John McCarthy of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in 1956. So we have the example of artificial intelligence. Siri is the best example of artificial intelligence. Fifth generation computers are only in the minds of advanced research scientists until they tested it out in laboratories. The computers have AI capabilities. Many of the operations which require low human intelligence will be performed by these computers. The future looks bright for the computers. So again, to sum up our topic, the generations of computers was from the vacuum tubes, transistors, integrated circuits, microprocessor, up to the artificial intelligence. For our next topic, we will discuss the different classifications of computers. I hope you have learned something today from our discussion. See you on our next topic. And if you have learned something from our discussion, comment down below and don't forget to like this video. Goodbye and God bless.